Good morning, Rebels, and welcome back to my life. It's Tolkien Tuesday, the day we talk about Tolkien, the world of Middle-earth, and any exciting happenings in The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and today I wanted to talk to you about one of the most important parts of the entire Tolkien mythology, the Elvish language. Now, the language itself is pretty esoteric, because Tolkien didn't write an exact guide for it. He wrote a few clues, like what languages it was based on, and then several passages in the language, and then kind of left it for his readers to figure out. There is, however, one part of Elvish that is very well codified and explained in the appendices of The Lord of the Rings, and that is the Elvish Alphabet, also known as Fëanorian script or the Tengwar. That alphabet is, of course, all over the books and films. The inscription on the ring itself is in the Elvish alphabet. Now, Tolkien, as you probably know, was a professor of language, and he had some pretty unkind things to say about the English alphabet. Basically, there is no reason for our alphabet to be in the order it is in. It makes no sense. But not in Tolkien's alphabet. Oh no, he would have a perfectly organized series of letters, where by understanding a few of the basic principles, you could decipher all of the rest. So first is the organization of the alphabet itself, which you can see here. The first thing to recognize is that for the majority of letters, that is the 24 on top, there are two distinct parts, the stem, or the straight part, and the bows, or the curved parts. On the first two lines, the stems extend down from the letter itself. On the second two lines, they extend upward, and on the final two lines, they are the size of the letter itself. The first two columns have their bows on the right, the second two columns have their bows on the left. The bows are doubled on every other line, and they are closed with that little horizontal line every other column. So with that, you've got a perfectly organized little alphabet, or at least 24 letters of one, and these form the majority of consonants used across every language. Now, before we decipher it further, we have to understand that the Fëanorian script was used differently by different people of Middle-earth. For example, men would use the Tengwar differently than elves would, but elves-speaking Quenya also used it differently than elves-speaking Sindarin. For simplicity, for this video, we're going to use it the way that we think that the men of Gondor might have used it according to Tolkien's notes. The top row was used for what are called voiceless stops, which are considered the most basic consonants there are, which are T, P, CH, and K. I have an easy way to remember this, which is that if you add a couple of vowels, they spell the words top check. In other words, you check the top of the alphabet before you're able to figure out the rest of it. For the next line, where you doubled the bows, you use the same consonants, in other words, the same shape of the mouth, tongue, and teeth, except that you add a voice to it. So T becomes D, P becomes B, CH becomes J, and K becomes G. Another thing that's important to remember is that because this is another alphabet, a direct translation doesn't always work. For example, G is always G as in golden. It's never J as in general. So if you were spelling general, you would use J, not G. Raising the stem on the third line means you don't stop your breath with your mouth anymore, what's called a spirant. So T becomes TH or th, P becomes PH or th, CH becomes SH or sh, and K becomes CH, but not CH as in choose, CH as in the German word Bach. And on the next line, we just double the bows again, which again just adds voice back into the same consonants on the line above. So TH as in throw becomes TH as in those. F becomes V as in violent, SH becomes a soft J sound as in soup de jour, and CH becomes GH, which isn't a very common sound in English, but is used in like a lot of other languages, including all of the Elvish ones. That gives you an idea of the basic organization of the language and how well structured it is, but using the Tengwar is a big subject, much more than I can cover in a 4-minute video, so I'm gonna stick some links in the description down below for you to become an actual professor of the Elvish alphabet. And if you really want the official course on how to use the letters, just go to Appendix E in the back of The Lord of the Rings. It's all there. I hope that you have geeked out about Tolkien's language skills as much as I have. As always, thank you so much for watching, Rebels, and I will see you tomorrow. Maybe. Bye!